All right, Ms. Hall, please unmute yourself. I'm about to ask you a few questions about the incident we're here for today. So to start, on Monday, March 14th, 2022, at approximately 5 p.m., were you located at 1301 West 8 Mile in Detroit?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Is it your understanding that that location was a Myers?
Yes.
At that Myers, did you take property of the store with the intent to not pay for it?
No comment.
You got to comment, otherwise I can't take your plea.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Are the people satisfied?
Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sills. Good afternoon, Ms. Sills. We can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, good afternoon. Can you please state your name for the record?
Genevieve Barbara Sills.
Okay, thank you. So, now calling case number 23WD04371A and B. Give me just a moment.
I can't hear you very well, but I'll try.
Okay. Does it help if I speak up?
Pardon?
It does not.
I have it on the highest volume. Okay.
If I lean closer, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I just called the case, and I was saying, give me just a moment. Okay, so The allegation is that on what is that? Oh, it looks like November 9th of this year at approximately 5 p.m. You were
Correct.
yes, you were pulled into traffic. You were driving with a suspended license and you failed to yield.
That's correct.
Okay.
Don't go out saying, look.
Oh.
Don't make any admissions.
Please don't make any admissions on the record. Okay. And did you get your advice of rights form?
Pardon?
Have you had a chance to review an advice of rights form?
Like an attorney?
You would have found it online. It's an advice of rights form that you can read that would advise you of your rights in this case.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I hope I heard that correctly.
I'm not sure you did here. Okay, I'm moving this a little bit closer. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was asking you if you had had a chance to review an advice of rights form. You would have found it online.
I've read it on a paper,
Okay.
the 14 B paper sent in the mail.
Okay. Do you have any questions about your rights?
Well, I called in and I said I wanted a court-appointed attorney, and she said it was just an arraignment.
Okay, we do have an attorney here to represent you.
Okay,
The
that's
court,
good.
okay. The court is going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and the assistant public defender is going to address bond for you.
Okay, yes, I want to plead not guilty.
Okay. The court accepts your plea. The attorney is going to address bond for you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Sills. At this time, we request a pretrial date as well as a personal recognizance bond, please. Thank you.
Thank you, attorney. Give me
Can
just a minute.
you? Okay.
Okay, Ms. Sills, at this point, we are going to give you your new hearing date, okay? And your public defender is going to be in touch with you.
They're going to be in touch with me for the new date?
I'm going to tell you the new date right now. The public defender will be in touch with you.
Okay, let me get my pen. I know I got it here. Okay, what's the date?
Okay, your next hearing date is going to be January 3rd.
$2024.
Correct, and that's at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay, that will be over Zoom. And you will get a notice of hearing.
In the mail?
Yes. And I believe if you have questions about that as well, you can also address those with your public defender. Okay. At this point, we are going to issue a personal recognizance bond. Okay, that does mean that you are promising to show up for your next hearing, and if you fail to appear, a bench warrant can be issued for your arrest.
Oh, I'll be here.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, and
Okay,
at this point, you're all set. You got your next court date, right?
January 3rd, 2024 at 9 a.m.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank
good
you,
day.
Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, what,
Thank God tonight's over. Have a good one.
Let's go back into my question then. Did the children show up? Mr. Holden, do you have the order?
I do. It was in October. I'm not sure why it's not in my file, Your Honor, but parenting time was year-round, alternate weekends for Mr. Gold, Friday at 5 until Sunday at 2. So it was Friday.
Okay, okay. He's alleging the children were not there on October 20th and November 3rd.
And also to Your Honor, it'd been November 17th also. They got there late.
How late?
I did have to go in early that day, Your Honor. I got home at 8:45, and when I was coming down the road, I seen the Thermary Transit pulling out of my driveway.
Okay,
So we're figuring about probably, they're about 8:45.
Okay, so you're alleging 3 days.
The 3 weekends. That's in a row.
October 20th weekend, November 3rd weekend, November 7th.
Yes. Yes. And it's not, my understanding, Your Honor, it's not a full weekend. It's just from 5 to whenever they got there. Just
Right.
hours.
Yeah, it's
Right.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it my turn now?
Yes, go ahead.
These motions are for denial, so I guess my understanding is denial means he did not get his children before the weekend at all. I've expressed in our last court appearance, which was exactly 41 days ago, so we wouldn't have to go through these motions, that I am at the mercy of the transit's routes. Their first obligation is the scheduled routes that they have contracted through the school system. I can't even get a definitive time from them till Thursday, and sometimes it's even been as late as Friday morning because they just don't know what time they can tell me that they can be back for stats after their school routes. So the kids have never been denied their weekends to him. You can't shorten somebody's time when they're not even there. Mr. Coates works every Friday evening, nights, which he has for almost 30 years, and doesn't even get there until Saturday morning.
That doesn't make any difference in the court.
I'm providing
It's
you
5
evidence
o'clock,
and
it's 5 o'clock.
documentation.
I'm sorry, please don't interrupt the court. 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. That's what the order states.
Well, I would like a copy of that, but I also work until 5 p.m. and I am afloat where I work, so I can be anywhere. I have to drive home, pick up my children, and then drive to staff. So 5 p.m. isn't even fathomable because I can't even get out of work before 5
But
p.m.
that was already court ordered after a hearing.
On
I also-
stipulation, Your Honor.
It was by stipulation.
But I can't get bus availability until they are able to come to
So
staff.
do I need to bring Ken Pesky in here to explain this?
That would be lovely, because I speak to their person who does their dispatch and their calendars. I have to call every Thursday, and there has been an event, which I couldn't notify him by app close, because until the judge came back from vacation after our last visit on 10/20, he did not come back till that following Monday, and then I had to wait for Mr. Ozentoski to contact me to let me know if there was gonna be an amendment to the bond restrictions, which I did provide a copy of that to friend of the court as well. So if you can suggest another way for the kids to get to the bus pickup and speak to Thumb Transit to see if they can get there earlier, because I can't even get out of work before 5, and I've already had 2 court dates since I started my new job to come here.
So your justification is it's Thumb Transit's fault.
Yes, they don't have a pickup time until that time of the night.
Court will sue sponte subpoena Mr. Kenneth Jimkowski from Thumb Transit to address this matter. This, I'm not sure what Mr. Jimkowski is going to say, but it would seem to me with their advertising, when they say we're ready to deliver at your scheduled times, I don't know. We'll find out.
Then I'm sure he would have the documentation from dispatch, because I usually speak with the woman, I don't speak with Mr. Jimkowski.
Well, Mr. Jimkowski is the director.
I know who he is.
Excuse me, miss. That's got to stop. You have to have a little bit of respect for the court. I've been respectful to you. Please stop with the comments. Can you do so?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. We will reserve ruling on that until we get into custody. Anything else, Mr. Holwick, regarding that particular issue, the 3 weekends?
Nothing, of course, is an issue that we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
May I make a suggestion? If it's a problem due to the transportation, then why doesn't Mr. Coates just pick the children up on Friday from school before he has to be to work? And then this issue wouldn't be at hand at all.
Well, if both parties could sit down and talk about it, that wouldn't be a
I
problem.
still have probation restrictions till December 8th.
Your Honor, regarding that comment, Mr. Court is aware that the amendment from district court, I was able to pull that up. And as of October 24th, 2023, signed by probation officers Bessie Ozapowski as well as Judge Harrington, the order of probation is amended such that the defendant may have contact with Kevin Coates via at-post program as arraigned by Huron County Front of the Court for the purposes of co-parenting only. All other original terms and conditions shall remain in effect. So bond conditions have allowed the parties to co-parent, but the problem is the parties just cannot co-parent.
That's not a barrier then.
No.
No, I've utilized it, and his response is, I don't understand what you're saying. And I did forward any of the conversations to Front of the Court like I always do.
Well, if that's something you want to discuss before the next hearing, feel free to do so. Because according to the bond conditions, as read by Mr. Holtwig, you're able to communicate.
And I have. And that's his response. I
That's
don't
what she was
understand
saying, Your Honor. I didn't understand. That's why I says I don't understand what you're saying. So
So what you're saying, so I'm clear, you said another hearing, what does that mean?
Well, I need to hear from Mr. Jimkowski regarding the show cause for alleged denied parenting. I need to have Mr. Jimkowski here to explain that it's Thumb Transit's fault that the children or child is not brought on time or are not brought on time. That's what I have to
So I have to come back to court again
Correct.
for this. Okay.
Correct.
Then while we're here, let's just nip it in the bud so I don't have to keep taking time off and losing pay. Why don't we just file a motion, or you put it on record, that he can pick them up from school Friday morning? And this will be the rest of what we're here for today. Since drop-offs have been an issue every single time we set something up, except for the event where the person who was willing to help had to step down, which we've already discussed that on record.
You're proposing that he pick up the children?
Yes, and we don't have to worry about the time in our work schedules.
I'm not, Your Honor, because of my work schedule. That's I can't, because I get out of work.
Okay, so we have to hear.
There's at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Unless it's agreed to,
No.
we have to have a hearing.
No.
So I have to, just so I'm clear, I have to miss work and come here where I do not get paid for it because I use my PTO and any acute time for sick children because they live with me. But he doesn't have to disrupt his sleep schedule to pick up his children from school to assure that he has them by 5 p.m. It just wasn't clear.
Ms. Hill, you are here because it's alleged you denied parenting time to Mr. Poe. And your justification for it was Thumb Transit. Thumb Transit's not here. I need to hear from Thumb Transit.
Can I do my portion like Zoom, like it was offered to other people, so I don't have to miss my time of work? I can take my lunch hour at that time?
The problem with that, though, is it's going to be a contested hearing.
What does that mean?
It's going to be back and forth, and it's going to be brutal. And to try and maintain a record like that, when the parties agree, like we have a divorce proceeding and the plaintiff says they get this and they get that, that's easy via Zoom. These contested hearings are not. So I require the hearings of both parties to attend the hearing.
So my suggestion for the pickup and drop off, that's just because he said he can't get up early enough. That's off the table, just so I know.
I'm not saying that. If the parties do not agree, then we have to have a hearing. That's it. There's nothing I can do. I can't. I'm sorry?
I didn't see anything. I was reading my notes.
We're,
That's on my.
we can play the tape back.
Said he'll never agree. I'll never agree. I just keep having to come back.
Okay, so that wasn't from your notes then.
Yes, it is in my notes. He'll never agree.
You'll never agree. Okay.
Can we?
Your issues are, you are asking for contempt on him. You want a new location to Cass City. And I believe there was something regarding extracurriculars as well. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, what was the second thing you said?
Extracurriculars, education.
That was already set for January 26th for the clerk's office.
Okay, so we're all set with that. You have police report pending, forwarded regarding a new location in Cass City Police
Yes,
Department.
because of what happened at the parenting drop-off.
Okay, go ahead with your motion.
Mr. Coth was to meet me as ordered in our prior court date at the McDonald's parking lot where we would park across the road at Taco Bell and I could see the kids entering the building. He was to take them inside where they could call me or text me to let me know that they were there. We park right across so I can see. He refused to let them on the vehicle and I forwarded the conversations to Mr. Holtwig, stating that he has to physically see me before he will allow them to get out. I believe his girlfriend, Mindy, or whatever her name is, wouldn't let them out of the car either. She said McDonald's will fire people if they allow a dog to come in, which they weren't. They had their little dog in a pet taxi, which they weren't going in the actual restaurant. There is that full opening there in the entryway where I had called prior to see if they could at least stand and wait. There's a little teeny 8-pound dog in a pet taxi.
There's a dog involved?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
Yes.
It'd be my
Okay,
dog.
I don't believe dogs are allowed in restaurants.
They weren't in the restaurant, it was the entryway.
It's still the building. I don't believe they just put a sign on the inside door. I think it's on the outside door too, but. So,
Well, I was going for a court order from our last date.
so you allege he refused to allow the children in. Did you ever pick up the children?
I had to call the police officer because for 45 minutes they waited in the car where he repetitively told my daughter, she was texting me as he was saying it, my daughter Steve, who I forwarded the conversation from her phone. He wouldn't allow them unless he physically seen me in the McDonald's parking lot, which violates the PPOs and it violates my probation. Obviously, I am not going to do that. I was there across the road. I could see his vehicle plain as day. He did not utilize the app close to say, hey, are you running late? I'm here with the kids. Where are you? He did not use it at all. So for 45 minutes, they sat in that car where he would not allow them out of the car at all.
So how old are the children? Age range?
15, 12, now 13, sorry, and 7.
Mr. Holtwood, is there anything in the order that says one's supposed to be a Taco Bell and one's supposed to be a McDonald's?
The order from October 20th hearing, Your Honor, states that for purposes of Friday exchanges, parties shall enlist the assistance of Plum Area Transit to transport the children from Stacks Market in Owendale, and that plaintiff, Mr. Coe, to his residence until further order of the court. Court acknowledges that Mr. Coe provided defendant with payment, or new address, I'm sorry, in the courtroom of where Plum Area Transit will do the drop-offs. And then at the conclusion of his weekend parenting time, Mr. Coe shall drop the children off at Bad Axe McDonald's located at 871 North Van Dyke Road until further order of the court.
Because I'm looking at the order dated October 30th. It's hereby further ordered that at the conclusion of his weekend parenting time, plaintiff Kevin Coates shall drop the children off at Bad Axe McDonald's located at 871 North Van Dyke until further order of the court.
Correct. Does not mention anything about me to go inside.
So where's all this information coming about? Well, I'm going to be at Taco Bell and he's going to be here. Where's all that coming?
I said it while I sat right here because I can't be in the same parking lot. And you weren't aware at that court date that I still had probation restrictions. So that's why I had said during court, I can wait across the road, which would be Taco Bell. And I can see when they physically go in, so I can go once he is pulled out of the parking lot and obtain the children without any confrontation with them. And he did allow them. Oh, I'm sorry, let me back up. My daughter went to call me. He took the phone away from her and wouldn't allow her to do so.
Okay, you're relying on information from the child.
Yes, that's why I had requested the hearing, because then it will be applicable.
Response?
Your Honor, is what happened about with the McDonald's restaurant is my witness who was not here, who was with me at the time. She has bowel obstruction and she's not feeling good, so she's not here today, but she was going to be my witness. My oldest daughter, who was sitting behind me, it's on the driver's side, said, Mom just texted me. She's going to be Your Honor. She's going to be a little bit late. She's getting gas. I said, that's fine. You guys can wait with me. They says, no, we're going into McDonald's. I says, it's 40-some degrees though, kids. You guys ain't on the outside of McDonald's with a dog. So I waited in the parking lot. I could see all around me. If she was in Taco Bell parking lot, I could see it on my side mirror. She was not late, or she was late. She never was there at all, Your Honor. So anyways, Officer Zielinski showed up. I got out of the vehicle. He says, Kevin, what's going on? You know, I said, Scott, I said, I'm getting sick and tired of this crap right now. He says, so am I, so is the courts. I says, these kids are getting dropped off at McDonald's. I says, their mother was gonna be late because she's getting gas. That time, she was in the Taco Bell parking lot. And I said to Scott, I said, there's a dog here. It ain't a service dog. They're not going to McDonald's or staying with me. So, and then Scott said to me, he says, Mr. Coates,
Don't
he
wanna
says,
go.
oh, excuse me.
We're not going in there.
He says, the next time you have drop off, I'm gonna tell Miss Hill to park in the back of the mini market party store. Right next to the bell box, there's a camera. That's fine. I mean, it's, I wanna get along, but it just seems, Your Honor, it comes down to hate. I received text messages on my phone last Saturday, whether it was her or my daughter, I can't say. Dad, I wish you were dead. We hate you. The only reason why we have to come, we're court ordered. I mean, that hurts. I mean, it just comes down to hate. These children are seeing it. Everybody's seeing it. It just comes down to hate.
Anything else?
No.
Michelle, finish.
Actually, it would be documented through central dispatch when I made the call where I was sitting, and it should be, everything's recorded. The time that I called, the fact that my children were sitting across the road and he refused to let them out. So that would be documented on the central dispatch. And if we're talking about cameras, Taco Bell would have cameras that would show that we went from Dunham's to Taco Bell, where we actually were there before they arrived at McDonald's. I've seen him come past the gas station and pull in. I had an eyesight of him. He would have clearly had one of me pulling in. And if he was that concerned, why did he not utilize that app close to verify where I was and if I was late and where I was going to be? But he did not do so. And that's the matter of the fact that he didn't let they wouldn't have had to sit there for 45 minutes. And since I can't use he took the phone away, which is taking someone's telecommunications away to call for me or call for anything for 45 minutes. When I did get my children after Mr. Zielinski, Officer Zielinski, got the kids out of the car and he pulled out of the parking lot, my daughter had been standing there with a wet spot on the back of her pants and she smelled of urine. She was too afraid to ask her dad if she could get out to the back because he refused to let her.
We're going into what the child.
Okay, well, that'll be part of the conference with you then.
All right. Well, the problem is we're using bond conditions, personal protection orders to our benefit whenever we want to use them, both parties. And it's frankly destroying the children, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know if these statements, alleged statements, Mr. Coates references come from the child or from mom or someone else. I don't know. But what I do know is if we would just use a little more common sense and a little more understanding, we wouldn't have to be in court constantly over this matter. And it's to the point right now for the court that we're not going to be talking about fines or sanctions or anything like that. We are going to talk about jail now, both of you.
Can I please say something right now?
No, not at this point. Not at this point. In the interim, while I have the ability to meet with the children to discuss this issue, prior orders will remain in effect, number one. Number two, regarding the McDonald's location, I like Officer Zaleski's suggestion. So, while this matter is pending, we still do the drop off at Bad Axe McDonald's at the scheduled time. Ms. Coates will park, I'm sorry, not Ms. Coates, I apologize. Ms. Hill. Ms. Hill will park in the, I used to call the Action Auto, but the Speedy Q market. And by doing so, all the children have to do is jump a curb rather than walk across potentially a 5-lane highway or have to deal with issues relative to a dog in a restaurant. That's common sense. We'll schedule the time for me to meet with the children and the friend of the court. And then we will address the issue of the children allegedly not being on time at Mr. Coates' house after we brought in Mr. Jim Cusky. Go ahead.
At the last court visit, you said you do have to follow district court supervisions, and I have done so too, simply because my probation is almost over. I shouldn't have had it in the first place, and I wasn't going to do anything to jeopardize it. So did I follow everything that was around my probation? Absolutely. So was I going to jeopardize it or get in trouble for anything without supervisions or amendments from district court? Absolutely. So that did pose a problem with things, and I'm not hiding around it or dancing around it. I have sat here for 2 years while we've been threatened for things. He has said things that are unforgivable to the kids, which is part of what I was still saying, but you did stop me. You already talked to him about saying things about, I paid child support things at their last visit, and that's why my daughter probably texts, which a lot of those texts take place. He texts her during school while she's at work. These don't just take place during parenting talk time. So yes,
I'm going to have the opportunity to speak to you.
I know, but
So
I'm saying,
I want to hear from the children.
that's fine, but I'm still talking about what happened at the last visit. You already warned him at the last visit that, and you pointed right at the jail. If I hear anything else about you downplaying or saying things are inappropriate, at the last visit,
That's not before the court. What's before the court is alleged denial of parenting.
this is part of my motion, what all transpires during these visits and drop-offs. He had told my daughter when he had taken her phone away that you are a bee just like your mother. I don't know why you come for these visits. Next time the kids come, don't come. He also told my son, Hugh, who had a gift card, who wanted to take it home, you're not going to take that. Because your mom's just going to spend it or steal it. She already gets enough of my money.
That's why I'm meeting with the children. I'm getting it from the horse's moms.
But
December 5, 6, or 7.
December 5, 6, or 7. Which day would you?
Next week? What time?
What time do they get that?
the children don't get out until 3 o'clock.
It doesn't matter to me because I can use vacation day. I can use personal. It does not matter to me.
I don't want them in school.
Right.
December 6th.
The 6th of December?
Yep. At what time can you have them?
They are coming here,
Yes.
then it would have to be 4 o'clock. They don't get out
They'll
till
have
3
to
and
be
we
with
without
us.
a
4 o'clock.
So at 4 o'clock then?
All other issues are preserved.
So that's December 6th, Your Honor?
Yes.
December 6th.
When is the meeting set with the transit?
We're going to have to schedule that hearing, and Mr. Chupesky will have to be subpoenaed.
And then from there, can I file my motion for him to do the pickup and the drop-off locations? Because
We can address it on that same day.
Because I can't continue to keep missing work at a job that I just started.
No, we can address it on the same day.
On that note, Your Honor, after the October 20th outing that we had with my son being the only one allowed, before that, I never had an issue with the kids being dropped off between 5 and 6 p.m.
Well, again, so that's what we'll hear from Mr. Junkowski.
And at that time, can we also address the fact that he's been offered, and he always calls me back into court for denied parenting time, that he's been offered break and extra weekends and he's declined each one of those. Can we address that also at that time?
Address it in what
What
way?
was that?
We're always back in court for these motions for denied parenting time.
Right.
When he has been allowed, though it couldn't be on app close, but it is documented on my daughter's phone, extra weekends and
You're
breaks.
communicating on a child's phone?
She communicates with him. I don't communicate with him at all. I have bond restrictions. She has asked him,
No.
we can come this
No, wait
weekend,
a
we can come
second.
that weekend.
According to Mr. Holtwick.
That was
district
recent.
court, when was that order?
October 24th or 5th of this year. So that's just recent.
That's just recently.
Okay.
They're allowed to go.
I have the
Before that,
amendment.
because of everything, the court had ordered that, Mr. Cole communicate with their daughter through their phone.
Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, now I remember that.
And that's the one that we utilize at C's phone, which is documented with friend of the court.
No, the fact that a parent is offered additional parenting time and doesn't take it, that's their problem. That's their fault. If they don't want to utilize it, they don't have to, but they're entitled to the time that is ordered.
Then it seems puzzling to me if you're not utilizing time that's given to you, extra time, days, weeks, Christmas break, spring breaks, extra breaks, but you're gonna haul somebody into court for minimal hours due to transportation. I really think that seems a little puzzling and it should everybody else as well.
And any motion that for denied parenting time, even if it's a minute, can be filed.
So you want me to tell my youngest son, he can call me in her 2-3 times a month for denial if he can't get him at a time that doesn't work?
If it's alleged and he's bringing it and there's valid basis for it, yeah, anyone can file a motion. Yeah.
If I make my plans on the weekends, Your Honor, when I don't have my children, so.
Well,
I
we
guess I
need
can put mine first.
the date with Mr. Jimkowski, can we set a date for that on Friday?
Yes, fine. So if you want the children of 6, we can go 8, 15, or 22nd.
8/15 or 22nd?
Does not matter to me.
What's gonna work for you?
I'm gonna have to shorten my hours, so any day, I guess, whatever day you pick, I have to lose time. Can we do it the same day that we're already here, so I don't have to explain to my supervisor again why I'm taking yet another court date off?
No, you mean on the 6th?
Yes,
Well, that's just when I meet with the children. That's in Chambers. That's not in the court.
okay. So then, can we push that till after the holidays then, at least? Do you have anything after the holidays? Because it's gonna be harder for me to get off because I have a lot of people taking vacation at work. And I'm low on the totem pole where I go, so I can't
So
always.
long as prior orders are followed.
What prior orders do you mean?
The parenting time starts at 5 PM at his place and
Oh, then we'll take care of that sooner. I'll make arrangements if I have to, so we can, I'm putting in a motion. I'm gonna go get the papers from front of the court before I leave.
when do you want it? 8th, 15th, or 22nd?
I'll take the 8th.
Okay.
8th it is.
So the 8th is going on for what day, Your Honor?
That's Friday, 9 AM, relative to Mr. Jimkowski coming in.
So kids only on the 6th, so he will not be showing up, and I'm conflicting, my probation lasts till the 8th, and I haven't heard differently. So is it just the 6th, which they reside with me, so I would be
You
bringing
just
them?
bring the children here.
Okay.
That's all you do.
And the 8th,
Do I have to be a present, Your Honor?
No.
Because, can I be a present?
No,
Okay,
I'm
I
not
mean,
present either. I meet with them
Okay.
privately.
okay. So, on December 6th,
That's on the 6th.
so on December 6th, you're gonna be, in with the children and I don't have to be here.
Correct.
And then, December 8th is court
Yes.
at 9 AM. Okay.
and at that time, transit will be here too. So,
That's the hope. Only
Okay.
Mr. Jimkowski's available.
and if he's not, what do we do at that time?
He might be able to submit an affidavit as well. I will, the court will sua sponte prepare a subpoena. I'll do it myself. And I will have him here, or at least an affidavit to explain what the story is.
And just so we do this on the record, their next scheduled visit, so I'm not back in here in another week for a motion, is December 15th through the 17th, just so that's on record while we're here.
I don't, whatever. the
That's
prior-
correct. That is my child visitation weekend.
And so we agreed on it, we have it on record then.
Yep, that's what I agreed upon.
Okay, very good.
Which is my scheduled weekend anyway, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. See you then.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'll be here.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank God tonight's over. Have a good one.